네, 잠시 안내 말씀드리겠습니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be beginning the Seoul Forum 2025 shortly. I would like to ask everyone to please come inside the hall and take your designated seats. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we will be beginning the Seoul Forum 2025 shortly. I would like to ask everyone to please come inside the hall and take your designated seats. Thank you very much.
네, 잠시 안내 말씀드립니다.
Some announcements, please. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the Seoul Forum 2025, we will be having a group photo with everyone in attendance. So those who are seated with your back to the front, then please make sure that you are facing the front so that we will be able to take a group photo of everyone. All right, now then we will be taking a photo. So please smile. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. And now a different. Thank you. And now in a different pose. Now we need your powerful applause. So when I say Seoul Forum, please give a big hand.
네, 이것으로
Thank you very much. So that completes the group photo. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome everyone to this Seoul Forum 2025. My name is Kim Soo-hyun, the anchorwoman at Seoul Economic Daily TV, and I would like to welcome everyone. Now, the Seoul Forum is now already in its 16th year as we gathered world-renowned scholars, business leaders, politicians, and academic leaders to muster our heads to think about a better future for the world and for Korea. And now we see that today, AI, which used to be in only the human imagination, is now become part of our reality. AI now is self-learning and is now going beyond the human physical capabilities, becoming more than just a simple tool. So it is time for us to take a cold-headed look into the AI's possibilities and limitations, which would also have a big impact on our society, and also to come up with the readiness and strategy for the future. Now, the theme of Seoul Forum 2025 is All on AI, the future is now. Across the next 2 days, we will be discussing various topics of the global AI industries and Korea, and for Korea's blueprint, with such topics as our everyday lives and industries and AI, new generative AI with GPT, and coexistence with superhuman humanoids. In particular, this year marks the 65th anniversary of the Seoul Economic Daily, and to celebrate the anniversary, we have also started a new special event called Pixel and Paint, looking into the future of art fused with high tech, and we will be discussing the new possibilities of art, digital art, and K-culture and their fusion. And I do hope that this will be an opportunity for everyone to gain important insights for our future industrial competitiveness and growth engine for Korea. Now, let me give some announcements about the program. Now, Professor Sebastian Thrun, who was the keynote speaker, was unable to travel to Korea, so but he will be joining us on day 2 at the main session to deliver his presentation. And now with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will kick off the Seoul Forum 2025. And we will first invite the CEO, Son Dong-young of Seoul Economic Daily, to deliver his welcoming remarks. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Son Dong-young, President and CEO of the Seoul Economic Daily. I dare say that the season of May, verdant and undulating with flowers and sun rays, is the best time to talk about our future. I am honored to welcome you to Seoul Forum 2025, which has been impeccably prepared by everyone at Seoul Economic Daily. First and foremost, I express my deepest gratitude to the distinguished guests who are here to congratulate the opening of Seoul Forum. We have Deputy Speaker Lee Ha-kyung of the National Assembly. We also have the presidential candidates Lee Jae-myung and Kim Moon-soo, who are in the throes of their campaign with the election just around the corner. And on behalf of them, we have Chairman Kim Yong-tae of the Emergency Response Committee for the People Power Party and the Chief Spokesperson Cho Seung-rae of the Democratic Party to deliver the congratulatory remarks. Thank you very much. We also have Minister Yoo Sang-im of Science and ICT, Korea's leading ministry for high-tech innovation. And we also have Mayor Oh Se-hoon of Seoul, who leads Seoul's transformation and leap forward, sharing the meaning of Seoul Forum 2025. Acting Minister Kim Bum-seok of Economy and Finance of Korea, Chairman Kwon Ki-sup of the Economic, Social and Labor Council, Chairman Kim Dae-gi of the National Labor Relations Commission, and Vice Chairman Yoon Jae-ho of the National AI Committee have graced us with their presence. And from the scientific community, leading Korea's technological competitiveness, Dr. Lee Dae-sik, President of the Korea Federation of Science and Technology Societies, and Dr. Yoon Eui-jun, President of the National Academy of Engineering, are lending their support. And from the business community, President Son Kyung-sik of the Korean Enterprises Federation is here with us. I also sincerely thank CEO Yeo Jun-gu of Taedong Robotics, the keynote speaker at the opening ceremony of Seoul Forum 2025. We also have special guests traveling to Seoul to share their valuable insights. Let me welcome our special speakers, Felix Shang, Senior Director at Google, Brian Low, Professor at the National University of Singapore, and Hye-jin Oh, Professor at Carnegie Mellon University. And of course, to all the distinguished guests, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is ushering into the age of AI. What used to be but the domain of human imagination is now evolving into center stage of our reality. What used to help humans, AI is now learning on its own and solving complex problems faster than humans. And now it is also we now continue with the initiatives to surpass humans' physical boundaries by combining with robotics. The future to be shaped by AI is already upon us. AI is no longer just a tool. It is a companion and a challenge. We need to be clear-headed about its impact and consequences and anticipate its possibility and channel them to improving human lives. Korea, with its technology-driven, export-oriented economy, will have to more swiftly adapt to these changes to ensure our survival. Seoul Economic Daily has organized the Seoul Forum to assess where global industries are today as they go through AI-driven transformation. We will take a sweeping look into AI from generative AI to humanoids and explore strategies for Korea. In particular, we are introducing a special session, Pixel and Paint, to explore the changes in the art world, which is expanding into new areas with cutting-edge technology. This will be a chance to see firsthand how AI and robots are pushing the boundaries of art. It is also testament to the hallmark of the Seoul Forum that its themes are not only for discourse but also are grounded in reality and are connected to the field and life. Through this forum, I look forward to finding future solutions for the citizens of Korea and the world to live in the AI era. I propose that the private sector, academia, and government work together to help Korea become the leader in the changing AI era. I do hope that Seoul Forum 2025 will provide inspiration and ideas to all attendees. Once again, I express my sincere gratitude to you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, CEO Son Dong-young, for your warm welcoming speech. That was the CEO of Seoul Economic Daily and Seoul Economic TV. Please give it up for Mr. Son once again. Next, We have prepared an opening video on the theme of this year's Seoul Forum 2025. It includes scenes generated by AI and those actually filmed. It will be indeed fun trying to guess which parts were AI created and which parts are real footages. Please enjoy the video.
What is real? Who is real? The future is already here. Everything leads to AI. All on AI. The future is now. The world we live in, shaped by AI. Easier and more fun. Safer and faster. More precise, more refined. AI is already a part of our lives. Lifestyle revolution. AI integrating into everyday life. Brain revolution. The era of generative AI. Post-human revolution. The era of humanoid. Imagine this. A world where we live and think together. Humans and AI side by side. It's no longer just imagination. The future we dreamed of. The future we imagined. It begins here, now. Seoul Forum 2025. All on AI. The future is now.
Yes, the era of coexistence with AI that has already begun was well captured in the video, along with the vision of a future where everything is connected through AI. Did you figure out which scenes at the beginning of the video were created by AI and which were real footages? The scenes that appear to your left when facing the stage were the ones created by AI. They were so realistic that it was almost impossible to tell them apart from the actual shots. This shows how rapidly AI technology is advancing to the point of fooling our eyes and senses. Next, I will introduce our distinguished guest who will deliver congratulatory remarks for the success of today's forum. Many people have extended their congratulations for today's forum. First, to celebrate the successful hosting of this forum, let me introduce our distinguished guest who will give his congratulatory message. We are joined by Mr. Lee Ha-kyung, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. Please welcome him with a big hand. I am Lee Ha-kyung, Vice Speaker of National Assembly. It's a pleasure to meet you. I have prepared a script for my speech, but I think that it's too old-fashioned. I thought about how to go about with this speech, but since I prepared it, so I'm going to read it. But before I read out my speech, I was born in a very rural countryside, and our house at the time was located at the top of a hill, and we used to transport a lot of goods. At the time, there were like village ladies who would carry things on their head, like fertilizers and also sweet potatoes. It takes about 20 minutes to go to that top of the hill because there was a field at the top, and along the way you have to cross the streams and bridges, but at times the roads were too narrow. So whenever you had all of these loads on your back while coming down, you could like fall into the streams. So back in the days, I thought to myself, I wish that I would live a world where I would be able to send all of these sweet potatoes without falling on the streets to my house. So that's the kind of idea I had back then during my childhood. And looking at this opening video today, I could really feel that we're entering the unprecedented era, unprecedented world that we would have never imagined in the past. So reading out my script, I feel like I'm like a primitive person, but anyways, I will read out my script. I sincerely congratulate the Seoul Economic Daily on its 65th anniversary and hosting the Seoul Forum 2025. I would also like to thank CEO Son Dong-young as well as his staff for your hard work in putting together today's event. The theme of this forum is All on AI, the future is now. Just as the theme suggests, AI is the core driver that is transforming industry, the economy, and society as a whole. It's not merely a technology, but it's become a key industry determining national competitiveness. Countries around the world, to secure AI leadership, are engaged in fierce competition. Companies like Google, Meta, NVIDIA, and DeepSeek are dominating the global AI market by making massive investments and forming strategic partnerships and alliances. Countries with such companies are becoming AI superpowers. As a latecomer, Korea needs to survive the AI supremacy competition and leap forward as an AI powerhouse. But relying solely on the capabilities of individual companies is not enough. The state must provide active support to help companies enter the global market in driving our large-scale AI transformation. In particular, Korea, which has pursued an industrialization strategy focusing on manufacturing, must focus its investments in areas of comparative advantage, such as automobiles, semiconductors, and shipbuilding, by integrating AI into these sectors. According to the Bank of Korea's February report, AI and the Korean economy, the adoption of AI could raise productivity of the Korean economy by up to 3.2% and increase GDP by up to 12.6%. As such, AI has such growth potential. The presidential election is just a week away. The AI strategy that the new government will pursue will be a core policy for the Korean economy. At this forum, taking place today and tomorrow, I look forward to hearing valuable insights from experts. The National Assembly will also work with the government in this era of coexistence with AI to help Korea rise to the ranks of AI superpowers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So that was the Vice Speaker of the National Assembly, Lee Ha-kyung. Thank you very much for your valuable words. Once again, a big hand, please.
네, 다음은 이재명
Thank you. And now we will be inviting the presidential candidate Lee Jae-myung of the Democratic Party of Korea. So we have the senior spokesperson of the Democratic Party reading the message from the candidate Lee. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. This is the chief spokesperson of the Democratic Party reaching for the real Korea. Now, the candidate Lee was not able to make it today, so I am here to read his message on his behalf. So he called himself the vice speaker of the National Assembly, just now called himself primitive, but I at least have the text on a pad, so it's a little bit better, isn't it? So allow me to read. Good afternoon. This is Lee Jae-myung, presidential candidate of the Democratic Party. Congratulations on the opening of the Seoul Economic Daily on the launch of the Seoul Forum 2025. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to CEO Son Dong-young and all the members of Seoul Economic Daily for organizing this meaningful event. Over the past 15 years, the Seoul Forum has consistently brought together world-renowned scholars, business leaders, and political experts to discuss the direction of our nation amidst the rapidly changing global economic order. In so doing, it has firmly established itself as a forum that presents sustainable and practical development path for the future. This year, the forum brings together global opinion leaders under the theme All on AI, the future is now. With AI technology moving at an unprecedented pace, the world is undergoing rapid transformation. We hope this forum will provide a platform for diagnosing the future changes brought by AI and sharing broad insights on how we should respond. Generative AI, such as ChatGPT, is revolutionizing AI accessibility, transforming every aspect of our lives, from education, industry, to our everyday. Beyond mere technological advancement, cutting-edge AI technology represents a true revolution that will bring about changes never seen from previous technologies. Significant changes in economic structure, such as labor and employment, are inevitable. Korea has achieved remarkable success as a leader in information and communications technology, but it has to catch up with some countries in the AI race. AI is no longer a matter of choice, but a matter of national survival. AI's impact is already part of our daily lives. We must swiftly define strategies for survival in the AI era and find a path to leap from a follower to a leader. As a presidential candidate, I have promised the people that I will achieve a technology-driven AI industrial revolution. To build the world's best AI ecosystem, bold investment and systematic support are essential. I will also actively seek policy support to enable South Korea's outstanding talent to fully unleash their potential and lead the global market. Korean people have the DNA to overcome crises. Just as we overcame the Asian financial crisis and emerged as an IT powerhouse, we will once again overcome the crisis today and turn it into an opportunity for a new leap forward. The key to overcoming this crisis is, without a doubt, AI. I believe that the Seoul Forum will help us find ways for Korea to once again lead the world in AI technology. Finally, I express my deepest gratitude to all the speakers who will deliver meaningful talks and share their insights. The Democratic Party of Korea will listen carefully to today's forum and take the lead in supporting the AI technology to become a global leader. Together with the people, we will overcome the crisis and move boldly toward becoming a real Korea. Once again, I congratulate you on this meaningful event and wish everyone good health and good fortune. Thank you very much. So I have just read the congratulatory messages from the presidential candidate, Lee Jae-myung. Thank you very much. So thank you very much for the valuable words from the candidate.
Next, we will also have a valuable message from Kim Moon-soo, the presidential candidate of the People Power Party. On behalf of Mr. Kim Young-tae, chairman of the Emergency Response Committee of the PPP, will deliver the message. Please welcome him with a big hand. Good afternoon. This is Kim Yong-tae, Chairman of the Emergency Response Committee of the People Power Party. My voice is not very good right now, but please bear with me. I will read out the congratulatory remarks on behalf of our party's presidential candidate, Mr. Kim Moon-soo. Distinguished guests from home and abroad, and esteemed experts from different fields, good afternoon. I am Kim Moon-soo, presidential candidate of People Power Party. First, I'd like to thank the organizer for putting together this important forum to address the AI revolution in advance and discuss industry and future strategies. Thank you, CEO Son Dong-young of Seoul Economic Daily. The Seoul Forum, to the Korean economy facing structural transformations, has consistently provided sharp analysis and deep insight. The Seoul Forum has always been the place to first outline the path the Korea should take. Just like this year's theme, All on AI, the future is now, we are living in a reality where the future has already begun. Artificial intelligence, robots, generative AI, humanoids. Technology is surpassing human imagination, and now it is creating a new reality beyond that imagination. However, Korea is currently falling behind in this AI race. According to the Stanford AI Index released last April, the U.S. invests $109.1 billion annually in AI, and China $9.3 billion, whereas Korea's private sector investment is only $1.3 billion, ranking 11th in the world. Even this has been declining since 2022. If we do not reverse this trend, Korea will end up as a technology-consuming nation. AI is more than just technology. It is the condition for national survival. It is the axis of industrial competitiveness, core of national security, and root of digital sovereignty. If we do not wish to live on platforms created by others, we must design and lead the order ourselves. Therefore, I have pledged to the people of Korea, we will invest over 5% of the national R&D budget in science and technology and establish a Deputy Prime Minister for Science and Special Envoy for Science. Through intensive investment in ecosystem development across the entire AI value chain, we will elevate Korea to become one of the top 3 AI powerhouses. From humanoid robots, autonomous driving to large-scale AI, we will make Korea a first mover in all future industries. We must hold the reins of technological hegemony. But at the core of all this lies humans, people. Technology is merely a tool. It is human who designs the technology. It is human who takes responsibility for the technology. It is human who leads the world to a better place through technology. That human is the true source of national competitiveness. We must prepare for an era where AI does not replace humans, but where humans and AI evolve together. Not just coexistence, but co-evolution. You gathered here today are the architects of this era. Politics must not lag behind this trend. Politics must change first and move even faster. I, Kim Moon-soo, will fulfill my responsibility at the forefront of transformation. AI is a future that has already begun. However, that future will be shaped by how we design it. Let me make it clear here today. I will ensure that Korea becomes the main player in that future, not a country that follows technology, but a country that leads technology. We will open our own path with our own hands. As for the insights, and wisdom shared at today's Seoul Forum, I, Kim Moon-soo, will realize them through policies. The path of industry, the path of science and technology, and an AI strategy for people. Politics must take responsibility and implement them. Korea will definitely seize the leadership in the AI era. Thank you very much. Kim Moon-soo, presidential candidate for PPP. Thank you very much. So that was a valuable message from candidate Kim Min-soo of PPP.
Thank you very much. Next, we have Minister Yoo Sang-im of Science and ICT of Korea to deliver his congratulatory remarks. Please welcome with a big hand. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, let me extend my heartfelt congratulations on the opening of the Seoul Forum 2025 under the awesome theme of All on AI, the future is now. I would also like to express my gratitude to President Son Dong-young, as well as all those involved at the Seoul Economic Daily in organizing this meaningful event. I would also like to express my gratitude to the experts from home and abroad who have taken the time to participate in the presentations and discussions. Ladies and gentlemen, 'tis the age of AI. Since the emergence of ChatGPT in late 2022, the fastest and broadest technological revolution in history is underway, with major countries engaging in all-out competition for AI supremacy, staking their nation's future. We have now reached a critical juncture where we must prepare not just for the next 30 years, but for the next 30 to 50 years. In response, major advanced economies such as the US and the EU, they are announcing AI investment plans on an astronomical scale, intensifying global competition. But we are confident that by leveraging our unique strengths, we can create new opportunities. Korea is well known for its strong AI capabilities, with hardware manufacturing capabilities ranging from memory to AI chips, as well as the third largest number of homegrown AI models in the world. Last year, we also hosted the AI Seoul Summit to lead global discussions on AI norms. And despite the political circumstances, we were able to strengthen our global leadership with bipartisan cooperation to establish the world's second Framework Act on AI. Earlier this month, supplementary budget of 1.9 trillion won for AI was approved, including measures to address urgent on-site demand, for example, to secure 10,000 additional GPUs and support for the development of world-class AI models. The government plans to swiftly execute the supplementary budget while pursuing bold and swift policies to strengthen national AI competitiveness, enabling Korea to leap forward as one of the world's top 3 AI powers. In particular, we will promote a national AI transformation that encompasses industry, public services, society, and regions based on AI computing infrastructure and our proprietary AI models to promote innovation across the economy and society. Such government support will be the catalyst to promote private innovation and investment, enabling AI to lead Korea's new leap forward. Today's forum will be a meaningful chance for experts from home and abroad to get together and exchange opinions amid the massive and rapid changes triggered by AI. The government will actively reflect the opinions shared here in its future policy initiatives. I also urge everyone present to continue their interest and cooperation. Once again, I congratulate everyone on the successful hosting of this event and wish everyone happiness and health. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That was Minister Yoo Sang-im of Science and ICT. Thank you very much for his kind words, and once again, a big hand, please.
Lastly, I'm honored to invite up on stage Mayor Oh Se-un of Seoul. Please welcome Mayor with a big hand. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I congratulate the opening of the Seoul Forum 2025. At the heart of the game changer, transforming the future market landscape, is AI industry. Thank you very much, Seoul Forum and the organizing staff for discussing this topic. And I would like to also thank the experts as well as the academics around the world for your insights. For the past 16 years, Seoul Forum has suggested directions for overcoming the structural transitions of the Korean economy and has led discussions on sustainable growth and innovation. Now, amidst this huge wave called the era of technological hegemony, it is time for our country and cities to reshape their strategies around the AI industry. As a politician, the theme I always carry is prosperity. As concerns about peak Korea grow these days, the key for Korea to leap forward again lies in AI. So last February, we presented the Seoul City's vision on AI and we began making investments. Whatever the field, the most important thing is talent. But it is true that we lag behind in developing talents. Fortunately, we have 54 universities in Seoul, and Seoul City are collaborating with these universities to run Youth Employment Academy to develop 10,000 AI talents each year. So out of the 25 districts, we have about 20 youth employment academies that have been already set up. So from next year, we're going to focus more on AI in nurturing AI talents. So 4,000 talents per year, especially on AI. We also have RISE programs and Campus Town programs. These programs aim to nurture high-tech startups. And through these programs, we are nurturing AI talents. So all combined, our target is to nurture 10,000 AI talents per year. And when it comes to new programs, it requires funding. So we have a 2030 Vision Fund that is to raise 500 billion Korean won. And when it comes to AI, we plan to set up AI-specific fund by next year. That is to raise 500 billion won by next year. So we believe that there will be new investments taking place beginning of this year and continuing on to next year. And one of the other initiatives that we are working on is building a cluster. As people in the AI may already know, we opened Seoul AI Hub in Yangjae-dong last year. After completing the hub, we thought that we could do better to expand it. So we are planning to expand this hub. That is to create about 90,000 square meters of AI tech city that will be under development starting from next year to be completed in 4 years' time. So plans are becoming more specific to that end. By taking on all of these initiatives, Seoul government will work together with the central government so that Korea does not lag behind in the AI race. We have always been late in many different fields, including nuclear, automobiles, and semiconductor. Many people are concerned that we are very much far behind, but as I just explained to you, the city of Seoul and the central government will continue to collaborate, and I'm sure that in a very short amount of time, we'll be able to further advance AI technologies, including LLM. We'll be able to catch up in areas that we lag behind. So as such, the city of Seoul has presented our vision on AI, and we would like to thank Seoul Forum for addressing this topic, and we would like to confirm our commitment. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much, Mayor Oh, for that warm welcome message. We also have many distinguished guests joining us from the industry as well as academia to congratulate the opening of the Seoul Forum 2025. Please give it up for all our distinguished guests. Thank you very much. Next, together with the business leaders who will lead the future of Korea and celebrate the successful opening of the forum, we will now begin the commemorative photo session. So I'm going to call on the name of the table. If you're seated at that table, please follow our staff and come up to the stage. So table 1, table 2, table 4, where our speakers are seated. Please come forward for the photo session.
네, 뒷줄 사이사이 얼굴 나오실 수 있게 다 앞으로 나와 주세요.
If you could all step forward, please, so that we can see everyone in the photo.
네, 총 두 줄로 사진 촬영 진행하도록 하겠습니다.
We will be taking the photo
얼굴 나오실 수
with two
있고요.
rows,
사이사이에 촬영해
and
주시기
please make sure that you can be seen on the photo.
네, 다 위치하셨을까요?
Have you all positioned yourselves?
네, 저희가 총 세 가지 버전으로 기념 촬영을
Now
진행합니다.
there's going to be total 3 versions of the photo taking, so I will explain each pose. First, please take a look to the front and look into the camera to the front and smile.
네, 그럼 두 번째로는 파이팅 자세를
Thank you. And second is the fighting pose. So please hold up your right hand. And when I say Seoul Economic Daily, then please say Seoul Forum fighting. Seoul Forum.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you very much. And now, last but not least,
손을 흔들어 주시면 되겠습니다.
now please naturally wave to the camera. Yes. Thank you.
네, 잠시만요. 뒤에서도 한 번 더
And one more time, we apologize. So,
뒤에 보이시죠?
yes, you also see the cameraman at the back. So please look into the camera.
네, 손 한 번 흔들어 주세요.
And please wave to the camera.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you very much for your cooperation. And that concludes the photo session. Thank you very much to all the participants for your cooperation. And now everyone may go back to your seats. Thank you. And because of a big turnout today, we also have a packed room, so please make sure that you safely find your way back to the seat. Thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the opening ceremony with the encouragement and congratulations from so many. So, as the VIPs are going back to their seats, let me run through the program of today. There will be a keynote speech followed by the first special session, to be followed by the official dinner. Dinner will be served where you are. So as soon as we can rearrange the stage, we will begin the keynote speech. I ask for your patience for a little bit.
바쁘신 와중에 이렇게 뜻깊은 서울 포럼 개막식에 참석해 주신
So once again, I would like to thank everyone for your attendance at this opening ceremony of the Seoul Forum 2025, despite your busy schedule. Thank you very much. And now we're going to begin the keynote speech to be delivered by CEO of Taedong Robotics, and who has also made big contribution to the academic development of robotics both inside and outside of Korea, and it is CEO Yeo Jun-gu, who comes to us with expertise in the technologies of robotics and robotic engineering. And he will deliver his keynote speech under the topic of the emergence of robotics technology, the era of new innovation. Please welcome him with a big hand.
네, 반갑습니다.
Great to meet you. This is Yeo Jun-gu, as just introduced. I was scheduled to give my talk tomorrow, but then now because of the change in schedule by Mr. Sebastian Thrun, so I have been pulled up to day one. So now I studied for a PhD in the 1980s, and at that time the robotics were quite getting a lot of attention because they were saying, everyone was saying that this is going to be the future, this is going to be our world. So I thought that that is what I should study. Now, a few years back, I gave a talk in an international conference in New York, and at that time I also said that robotics are our future and our future industry. And now, today, it seems like we are not a step closer to the future, but we are already 1 foot in the future. And that is because, as you would know, in the past few years, the development of AI has been quite rapid. And also, the AI coming together with robotics is really going to bring about seismic revolutionary changes in our society. And that is why all the big techs now they're saying that they're creating humanoids and robotics. Now then, the AI coming together with robotics, what is going to happen? So let me introduce some of the robotics that have been invented from the past to look into the future. Now, when I was in the US, I was also in the NSF. So if I may just briefly tell you my experience in the US, then the NSF, this is like the Ministry of Science and ICT and the Korean Science Foundation combined together. So in Korea, we don't have anything like it, but then now. So I had been in the NSF for some time, and I see that the NSF, they started to invest in the robotics again after a few years. So I had spent some time there, so in charge of robotics and computer vision, doing some running the program at the time. And then, since then, yes, we see that the robotics are now have spread quite a lot, especially during the COVID period. Then, because of the non-face-to-face need, we were able to see the robotics in the hospitals, in the restaurants. But then more recently, because of the AI. Now then, let us take a look back to the robotic invention from the past. Now, the top layer, this is the NSF-funded projects. So some of the outcome of the projects, some of the leading outcome. Now, robotics, of course, would be the culmination of different types of technologies. So this is the art of combining different technologies. It's not just about a motor. So in the middle, then you also see the changes in the society and the technologies. And then the commercially developed robotics. So in the 1980s, mostly in the assembly line in auto factories like spot welding. So robotics have been used for that purpose for mostly. But then now moving into the 2000s, you see that the application has become much broader. So in the 2000s, in Japan, they have developed a lot of humanoids. So today we're seeing a new wave of humanoids. But then now the first generation of humanoids had been from Japan. So Honda, Toyota, so many of these large companies, they had delved into the humanoids. You see that they were running, they were jumping, they were even climbing stairs. Like for example, Asimo was is one of the leading example. And surgical robots. So in the past, putting a knife on the human body, that was very challenging. But today, because of the technology and robotics, now there is really minimal intervention. So now today, it's more like a teleoperations utilizing robotics. So there are a lot of advantages. The shaking of the hand is minimized. And then also the cleaning robots like Roomba, they have also been developed. So you see that many different types of robotics have been developed. And then now from the 2010s, the NSF also started what's called the robotics initiative. So NSF led the way, but then also NASA and also NHS and other organizations also took part in making the investment. And their key word was collaborative robots or cobots. Now I'm telling this story because, of course, I had also been a part of the project, but then now you see that the cobots these days are an important part of the industry today. So also in the industries, cobots, then in Korea, we also have a number of Korean companies developing or selling cobots. But the initial investment or the initial development had been started in the US from the 2010s. And then also in the 2020s, the AI Institute, also funded by the NSF. And then now since then, the founding robotics, the foundation research in robotics, this was also funded by the NSF in 2022. And then moving on, in the 2020, then Waymo's robo-taxi was made available. And then now in November 2022, ChatGPT was launched. And then since then, we are seeing new AI news almost on a monthly basis. So such rapid changes. And then now everyone is saying that they're going to make humanoids. And that is because AI, if it is just in the cyberspace, then it is highly limited. But let's say if it can also take actions, if it can move around, then it can really bring about huge changes. And that is why many of the AI companies are now venturing into robotics as well. So sometimes I say this half jokingly. It used to be that AI was feared to conquer human beings or rule over human beings. And I would say that no, it won't happen because we program AI. So nothing will be created that would harm human beings. But now I think a little bit differently. So again, I say this half jokingly. So let's say the room keeps getting hotter and hotter. So I tell the robot or the AI, the room is getting hot. Why don't you turn down the temperature? But now if the AI is in the cyberspace, then it would tell you that now you can turn down the temperature. There are so many people. But now it can also take action. So now then, the robot would be thinking, oh, the temperature is going up because there are too many people in the room. And what if it takes actions? So I need to get rid of the people in the room. So, of course, the person giving the command, that is what he intended. But if the robot were to take the initiative in taking action, then something completely different could happen. Now, another completely revolutionary could happen. So this year, again, like February, March, and April, and then also a few days ago, Tesla made some announcements about how they were educating or the training the robots to do something. And I believe that something big is coming just around the corner. So now, since we have been talking about the humanoid, let me also talk about how the humanoids had been developed throughout the years. So in 1965, GE came up with what's called the walking truck. Not robotics, but then now it's a person getting atop a machine. And then now in the 80s and 90s, so when I go to the academic conferences, then they would show off these like walking robots. So how people would get on these machines, or how they would have these machines hopping around or jumping, or some robotics emulating insects. And then now in the 2000s, Asimo came about, and then more recently we are seeing the second generation of humanoids. And I believe that it was in 2005, Shubo, so that was by Professor Oh from KAIST, and then also KIST also developed Mara Abo. Anyway, but since then, they were not able to continue with the robotic development, and that is why we have been a bit lagging. But then I understand that the ministry is going to invest more in the robotics again.
Was this walking truck built by General Electric in the USA as far back as 1965. A human
Dynamic balance was developed by Mark Rabert, who founded the MIT Leg Laboratory in the 1980s. To keep this simple, he started with one-legged robots.
You can learn about the future of robotics from the Asimo period. Asimo, Advanced Step in Innovative Mobility, was once the most well-known advanced humanoid robot in the world. However,
So the last video, this is not to downplay Boston Dynamics, but this is something that came out 2 years ago. Of course, we see a lot of these videos, and usually you would show the successful cases, but then now, up until to that point, there are a lot of failure cases preceding that. But also recently we see changes in that context as well. So this was from March 2025 from the IT Automation magazine, and there was a special issue on humanoid robots. And then the editorial said, "We are not there yet. Why is humanoid robotics hard?" So that was the article on the robotics and automation March issue. And then now there were 3 sub-themes. Is bipedal locomotion inherently stable? Are system sensors and the perception system reliable? Is physical intelligence fully developed? In other words, two-legged walking. is that a stable structure? And also sensors or the perception system, are they trustworthy? Are they reliable? And also AI, the physical intelligence, has it been fully, perfectly developed? And another is they also talk about actuators or motors. So it's not just about intelligence to achieve humanoid. You need to have all these other components of technologies to achieve the kind of humanoid that can work alongside human beings. Let's say, for example, in plants. So that is the common argument from the academia. Now, whenever I deliver talks, I also show numbers, some statistics, but then now, because of the limited time, I would just show you just a few numbers and then jump into the AI robotics right away. Now, the robotics market share, the size is about close to $100 billion by 2024. They say that this will double by 2029, but I believe that this is going to accelerate. This graph is showing the top 5 leaders in the world in industrial robotics: the US, China, Japan, Germany, and Korea. As you all know, the robotics in concentration or the density, Korea is number 1. So it's number 1 or 2 between Korea and Singapore. Then also the R&D investment compared to the GDP, Korea is also number 1, so that is also a very good indicator. So these 5 countries are also the heaviest investors in robotics. Then now looking at the industrial robots, then of course, so when we say robots, then we talk about like China, the US, but then still, industrial robots, Japan still dominates. So most of the industrial robots are produced in Japan, and also the applications, the semiconductors or display, in other words, the electronics components, and then also the automotive. So it is in these areas that are using a lot of the industrial robots. Combined, they use over 50%. Then also the industrial robots that are exported, then Japan, about 36% with the highest profitability. So although Korea is top 5 country, in terms of the export, then it is less than 5%, only 3% for Korea. And now this chart is telling a bit of a different story, and that is about the collaborative robot, which is a new trend. So the cobots are also being developed and sold by some Korean companies as well. But then you see that this is also a highly competitive field. So in 2 years, you can see that the market share has really changed. So again, there is quite a sizable market, but also very fierce competition. So I just talked about industrial robots, and now about the professional service robots like healthcare and medical and logistics. So these combined take up over 50%. So if you are to develop service robots, then those are the market segments that you should target. Now, for the industrial robots, as I said, Japan is leading the way. For service robots, then looking at the number of providers, then the US leads the way. So since 2019, there have been 1,500 startups coming up in the robotics field, and about 20 of them have grown into unicorns. And now, this is what I talked about earlier, and that is about the AI robotics. And this is from Google in March. And this gives a very good explanation about AI robotics. I cannot show you everything, but it is also on YouTube, so if you could look it up, I'm sure that this will be quite helpful in your understanding.
We're bringing Gemini 2.0's intelligence to general-purpose robotic agents in the physical world. To be helpful, robots need to be interactive, responding live to your actions and your voice. They need to be dexterous to complete your most complex tasks. And they need to be general to understand things in your 3D world.
So about the same time last year, I contributed this article to a newspaper. So I was at that time the president of the Korean Institute of Robotics and Technology Convergence. So this was not just about the robotics, but then also the logistics. So how we need to also combine this to the physical intelligence as well. So robots combined with the physical intelligence is going to bring about revolutionary changes. And that is why all the big techs are also jumping into this. So I was also arguing that the government should invest not only in the robotics but also in the physical intelligence, because humanoids is just one form of robot, and we need to make sure that the physical intelligence can be applied to other forms of robotics. Now, this was from just a few days ago. This is from Tesla on Optimus. And you know that when we are using the robotic arms, then there is the object that you want to catch, and then you know your own location, and you also have the information about the arm. So then mathematically you can solve the kinematics, and then you can calculate the angle for each object, and then you can also control the motor to control the arm and catch the object. So that had been the traditional way, but then now Tesla, what they have done is they just shot videos of various tasks being performed, and then they would train the robotics using this video. So I had doubled the speed, but you can see that it is highly natural looking. So as a robotics person, it's highly surprising, welcoming, and also worrying. But again, the investment in the AI robotics, there is enormous investment, not just in the AI, but then also not just in the AI robotics themselves, but also in the ecosystem. So they are investing heavily into the ecosystem. In other words, gathering the data and also those that produce the models for the robotics. And then also when you are using several robotics, then you also need to have fleet management. So many of the companies that are providing fleet management are getting huge investments. So one example is what's called the physical intelligence. I'm sure that many of you would know. So this was founded by a UC Berkeley professor. And this company, as far as I know, has no sales to speak of yet. But then still, they have received $400 million in investment. So that's a huge number, about 500 billion won in Korean won. So you see that there have been investment made by well-known personalities and famous companies, and also their valuation is at $2.4 billion. So again, this company has no sales, but still valuation so high, meaning that they have huge potential. So in Korea, we have companies that are strong in AI, strong in robotics. So where those two can meet, then that is where we need to make more investment. And this is a slide that I had shown you earlier, but when you look at the bottom, then more recently, so that was in April last year, so NSF, together with the USD, so they have also come up with a research program, and that is about the agriculture robots. Because the US government also recognizes the importance of the agriculture robots, and that is how they started the programs. They say that using potable water in agriculture, that's about 70%. So looking at the sustainability in agriculture, then again, the robotics would be very important. And of course, the agricultural chemicals could also be contaminated. So it is also important to make sure that it can be used only in the right place, only at the right time. And the robotics can also help in that as well. So now, for the robotics in agriculture, so I have also set up the Taedong Robotics last year. Now, since we are in the robotics in agriculture field, let me also tell you a bit about the trends. So then, for the agricultural technologies, now there are largely three trends: agriculture robotics, remote monitoring and automation, and vertical farming and indoor agriculture. Now, of course, robotics are highly expensive, so even for SMEs, then one big burden is that there is huge investment upfront necessary. And also another important thing is talent. We need to develop the talent. And also it is difficult for lay people to utilize the robotics right away. So these are some of the challenges. And of course, there are some grants or support from the government, but right now, the agriculture robotics is not a category for the grant, so it is still challenging. But still, as I said, agriculture robotics are going to be highly important going into the future as well. So for the agriculture robots, the market was $16.62 billion last year. And then by 2032, it is expected to top $100 billion. So I have come to nearly the end of my presentation. And last, I would just like to explain a bit about my company and what the company is developing. So right now, we have developed many of the robots with loads, and then also disaster prevention or agriculture robots that we have developed and are providing to the farms and orchards. So for example, all the way to field service robotics development is our goal.
Meet RT-100 transport robot. Effortlessly hauls up to 660 pounds. Tethered manual control. Follow me mode. AI-powered autonomy. Whisper quiet, zero emissions, 100% electric. Built for every season, lift and dump functions included. Daedong RT-100 transport robot.
사실은 저희가 이 로봇을 가지고
Well, in fact, we are also working with the robotics to do voice recognition. In other words, if we give verbal instructions, then for this robotics to do tasks at a certain location or find people. And also because of the population aging, we also have elderly farmers working alone, so we could play music for them, or we could also give a verbal explanation about cultivation and so forth. So we are developing this talking transport robotics, and last year we have also done some pilot, and by July then there will be more mature robotics, and I have brought a video for this conference, and that will close my presentation.
선별장으로 이동하여 경영구원을 찾아드리겠습니다. 이동할까요? 그래. 이동하겠습니다. 선별장에 도착했습니다. 작업자를 확인하겠습니다. 경영구원님에게 도착했습니다. 안녕하세요.
하루 정도는 쉬고 싶은데 언제 쉬는 게 좋을까?
이번 주는 4월 30일 화요일이 맑고 온화하여 쉬기에 좋을 것 같습니다.
이번 주에 비 예보는 있어?
이번 주에는 5월 1일에 비 예보가 있습니다. 강수 확률은 89%로 높은 편이니 계획에 참고하세요.
난 요즘에 철쭉을 키우고 있어.
철쭉을 키우고 계시는군요. 철쭉은 햇빛을 많이 필요로 하니 적절한 햇빛을 받을 수 있도록 해주세요. 물은 적당히 주시고 물 빠짐이 좋은 토양을 유지하는 것이 중요합니다.
노동력 틀어줘. 이동할까요? 그래. 이동하겠습니다.
이게 중간 점검이라서 조금 프로페셔널하지 않게 녹음돼서 조건가 좀
So
작긴
it
합니다만
wasn't professionally recorded, so
것은 처음이 아닌가 싶습니다.
but then I believe that this was the first speaking agricultural robotics. So that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So
성공적으로 사교가 될 로봇들에
that was a presentation on the recent investment trends in the robotics that had been successfully commercialized throughout the past half century, and also the future outlook on the robotics industry. So once again, a big hand to the speaker for this special lecture. Thank you very much.
Moving on, we have with us the leading developer of the world's most innovative humanoid robot, the G1, Unitary Robotics. And we're joined by Felix Shang, Senior Director of Unitary Robotics, for a special lecture titled All on AI, The Future is Now. Please welcome Mr. Shang with a big hand.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm very honored to have a chance to discuss the future of human robot and artificial intelligence with you and the 2025 Seoul Forum. Today, my speech on the theme All on AI and the future is now. But before my speech, I want to share a video firstly. And we can see this video, including the human robot, and the robotic dog, and the autonomous car, and drone. This machine will collaborate to finish one task or two tasks. And we can see this. The human robot is charging for this autonomous car. And when the autonomous car is full battery, he will to do something. You can see this robotic dog, and he will take seat on the robotic car and go into another destination. The destination will be substation, maybe some chemical factory, also maybe some shopping mall. You can see this dog now is into a substation and using some camera and the optic camera to doing some tasks. And the data will transiting from the dog to the control system. And you can just sit in your office to see all the data the dog transfer you. Now we can see this dog is finished the task and go back to the car. Okay, that's the video. You may think that this video is not true. It's amazing. Maybe we are think this like we watching a fiction movie. Actually, it's already happening in our people's lives. This video is also related to what I'm talked about next. Today my speech will divide into 4 parts. The part 1, I will talk the value and the potential of humanoid robots. Part 2, I will talk about the unitary robotics. Part 3, I want to talk the technical challenges we face. Part 4, I want to talk about the future of humanoid robot. Okay, let's move on the part 1, the value and the potential of humanoid robots. When we talk about humanoid robots, we can't avoid the concept of embodied intelligence. So what is embodied intelligence? Let's recall this concept. Of course, everyone have every idea. The best explanation of me, I think, the embodied intelligence is artificial intelligence not only be able to think and speak, but also to act and move. This is embodied intelligence. We can see there are many varieties of robots in this world. Wheeled robots, tracked robots, quadruped robots, and humanoid robots, also drone and underwear robots. But I think the ultimate version of robots will be the humanoid robots. Why? We can find the answer from this slide. Firstly is high mobility. The humanoid robot can work on many different terrains, including grass, mountain stairs, also some special stairs. Second is high intelligence. A human robot will interact with different people and to learn some new skills with a smart chip. And the third one is high payload. The human robot with a strong body structure, so it can capable of to do some tough tasks. Also, the human-like scenario characteristics allows the human robot can integrate into the home scenario and also factory scenario, whether as the companies in home or collaborative partners in factories. Human robot also can ensure can be used in a variety of scenarios from home assistance to industrial productions to meet the needs of different fields. So that's the reason why human robots are the ultimate version of robots. The part two, I want to introduce my company. Today, we also invited two special friends, and the G1 and the Go2 coming up. These are two friends from my company. Hi G1, hi Go2. Thanks you for supporting me in this speech. And wait a moment, we can go back to home after finish this speech. Wait a moment. Okay, I will continue. Unity is established from 2016. For now, 9 years. We're based in Hangzhou, China, a beautiful city. We are the first company publicly retail the quadruped robot dogs. And we created the low-cost but high-performance dog. The quadruped robot sales account for 60% of global shipments. It means if you see 10 robots on the street, maybe 6 from Unity robot dealers. And the G1, we can see this very hot selling, and now is well welcomed by our customers with a Facebook joint system. The G1 can do some amazing movements like running, dancing, and also boxing. G1 equipped with LiDAR and depth camera, and it has 23 to 43 model. G1 also equipped with a media gesture ring, so it can do some special task. Let's see the second video. This video it shows the high freedom of this G1, and the West have 3 freedom. The arm have 5 or 7 freedom for one arm. You can see this G1 do some simple dancing. Okay. We usually not only supply the robotic dogs and the human robots, we also open SDK and some technology documents for our customer. Our customer use human robot for research, for education, and also for industrial applications. For example, some students using the human robot to learn AI programming, and some researchers use G1 to explore new algorithms. Unitree Robotic provide open SDK, encourage global developments to secondary development, and achieve more innovation application scenarios. As an innovation platform for developers, G1 also allows developers to freely develop applications and extend their capabilities. We can see the third video is from UC San Diego. This university uses G1 to do some home service. You can see that the G1 is to put up some tableware. Also, this moves seems like is easy for human. But I think with the development of AI, the humanoid robot ability will more power and power. Now we can see this G1 is to pick up a parcel. And this G1 changed to another camera. And you can also change it to another ladder, also another hand. This human robot can DIY. It depends on yourself. This is just one case for humanoid robot. With the development of AI, I think many scenarios will happen in the future. Like we see, the G1 is supplies the pesticide on the farm, and G1 also can use in education to sparking the student interested in technology. Also can use in industrial applications, replace people into some environment very dangerous and very dirty, and to doing some job repetitive and easy every day. There are many scenarios G1 can use. This also shows that the great potential of the humanoid robot. I think the human robot will be the best carrier for AI technology implementation. Okay, we can start the part 3, technical challenges. Every new technology will come in from a new problem. Human robot also. For example, how to improve the decision-making ability in a complex environment. How to extend the battery, how to ensure the safety and the ethical compliance in human interaction. This needs a global community effort, and we Unitree is also trying to do some ways to solve this. Ethical issues arising from development of human robots are emerging. The symbiosis of AI and human need ethical guidance. We need to ensure the technology fairness and to protect the privacy and to ensure the data security. The mission of Unitary is to promoting the development of global robotics and AI, and bring quadruped dogs and human robot close to more people, and promote the implementation of industrial applications. Part 4, I want to talk about the future of humanoid robot. The journey of embodying intelligence towards universality will go through 2 stages. Stage 1, I think 3 to 5 years, driven by vertical scenarios, achieving generality in some special scenario, like a substation, chemical factory, also some agriculture environment. And stage 2, 5 to 10 years, the human robot driven by general intelligence will enter thousands of households and transiting from commercial use case to household use, and eventually enter into daily life. Looking forward to next decade, the human robot will become more intelligent, more worldwide, more collaborative, and G1 and another human robot can do some complex tasks through autonomous learning, and then into everyone's home. And Unitary will spare no effort to realize this vision. Unitary is promoting the development of a human robot through ecosystem. We collaborate with many universities, many enterprises. Today, Unitary to be here also want to collaborating with Seoul Forum guests and share technology, share resources, and to explore the unlimited possibilities of a human robot and AI, and to make this world better and better. And that's all for my sharing. Thanks for your listening. Thanks.
네, 말씀 고맙습니다. 미래 산업 환경에서 로봇이
Thank you very much.
로봇과 인간이 공존하는 산업
It was a valuable time in which we were able to hear perspectives on the role that robots will play in the future industrial environment. Please give a big hand to Mr. Shang once again.
이어서 서울 포럼 공식 만찬이
Now we'll proceed to the official dinner of the Seoul Forum. Tonight's dinner will be served at your respective seats.
내일 진행되는 서울 포럼
Let me brief you on the program of Seoul Forum tomorrow. Tomorrow's main session, under the theme All on AI, the Future is Now, will bring together leading scholars and experts in AI from all around the world to analyze the present and future of AI in depth. You will hear vivid examples of how AI is being integrated into and advancing across key industries like home appliances, mobility, as well as humanoids. Not only that, special forums and topics like Pixel and Paint, Space Forum, A Safer AI Era will explore essential areas where we must grow alongside cutting-edge technology, including ethics, talent development, space, and arts. Your interest and participation are highly encouraged. So please enjoy the dinner and have a wonderful evening, and I will see you again shortly. Thank you very much.